planets in the solar system. We revolve around the sun. Join us to learn about the different planets. Now sing along and have some fun.
I am the Sun, a hot ball of gas that lies at the center of our solar system and accounts for 99.86% of the mass in our solar system. We can fit over 1,300,000 Earths inside of me, and in comparison to the size of the Earth, I would be a big beach ball and the Earth would be a small grape. My surface temperature is 5,777 Kelvin and is 5 times hotter than the hottest lava on Earth. I'm also 93 million miles away, which is 1 astronomical unit from Earth. If you travel by commercial flight at 300 miles per hour, it would take you almost 19 years to reach my surface. Light travels more quickly at a speed of 300 million meters per second, and since I'm so far away, it takes about 8 minutes for my light to reach you. That means you are viewing the sun from 8 minutes ago. I have been shining in space for approximately 4.5 billion years. My lifespan will last another 5 billion years before I die off into a small white dwarf. Now that you know how powerful I am, make sure to wear sunscreen and sunglasses outside.
I'm Mercury. I'm the nearest planet in our solar system to the Sun at a distance of around 36 million miles. I'm only slightly larger than our Earth's moon, and if someone were to stand on the surface of me, as someone now stands on the surface of Earth, the sunlight in the sky would appear around 7 times brighter and 3 times larger. Unlike Earth, my days are longer than my years. My years take about 88 days, and my days take about 176 Earth days. My orbit around the Sun is the most elliptical and eccentric of all the other planets. My surface is extremely rough, rocky, and cratered, much like that of Earth's moon. My atmosphere is also extremely thin and contains far too little oxygen and far too many other toxic elements to be able to breathe naturally. I have no moons and no rings, unlike all the other planets in the solar system. The human race has known about me since ancient times, although they were uncertain of its existence as a planet, as the first mentionings of me were believed to be from about 3000 BC by the Sumerians. I am the second densest planet in our solar system, behind Earth, due to its composition of heavy metals and rock. I do not experience any seasons because of my small tilt on my axis. I like that. I have a very weak magnetic field that is about 1% of the strength of Earth's. The gravitational effect on me is about 38% of what it is on Earth. So if someone were to stand on a scale on me, they would appear to weigh only 38% of what they do here on Earth. And only 2 different missions have sent spacecraft to me. Mariner 10 photographed half of my surface in 1974 through 1975 during 3 flybys, and the Messenger mission sent a probe from 2008 until 2015 that captured many different images and scientific data. And recently, in 2018, the European Space Agency announced a mission called Bepi Colombo that aims to send a craft to orbit Mercury by 2025.
I'm Venus. I'm the hottest planet in our solar system. Like Earth, I'm also a terrestrial planet. My atmosphere is very thick and toxic. The atmosphere is full of greenhouse gases and carbon dioxide and sulfuric acid. The gases in my atmosphere trap heat and make it so hot that you can melt lead on the surface of Venus. Venus is an active planet like Earth. I have mountains and volcanoes. I spin opposite to all the planets of the solar system, and my days are very slow. It takes 243 Earth days to spin around the sun, but only 225 days to go around. That means that a day on Venus is longer than a year on Venus. The sun rises every 117 Earth days, and it rises 2 times in my year.
Hi guys, I'm Earth. I'm the third planet from the sun. I'm actually 29% made of land and 71% made of the ocean. I'm actually the only planet in the solar system that is not named after a Roman god or goddess. And as you can see, I have one moon. My moon is actually 1/4 my size, and the moon itself actually harbors water that came to the moon from comets in our solar system. Now, another interesting fact about me is that I'm actually 93 million miles away from the sun, which we call an astronomical unit. I'm about 4.5 billion years old, about the same age as my moon. Now, my rotation is actually gradually slowing. It's decreasing at about 17 milliseconds per 100 years, which means in about 140 million years, the length of a day can increase to about 25 hours. I'm also the densest planet in our solar system with about 5.5 grams per cubic centimeter, and in turn, relative to the planets, the moon is also the largest satellite relative to a planet. Our moon is also drifting away at about 3.5 centimeters from Earth every single year.
Hi everyone, I'm Mars. I'm also known as the Red Planet. I'm known as the Red Planet because of my rusty iron surface. Mars is also half the size of Earth. I'm similar to Earth in many ways. Mars has seasons, polar ice caps, volcanoes, canyons, and different weather patterns. I have a very thin atmosphere made of carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and argon. One day on Mars lasts 24.6 hours. So it's very similar to Earth's 24 hours that they have in a day. 1 year on Mars is 687 Earth days. It's almost twice as long as 1 year on Earth. I also have 2 moons. Their names are Phobos and Deimos. I'm the 4th planet from the Sun, and Earth and Jupiter are my neighbors. I have been known about since the ancient times because you don't need a telescope to see me from Earth.
Hi, I'm Jupiter. I'm the 5th planet from the sun, and I'm also known as a gas giant. I'm made up primarily of hydrogen and helium. I'm the largest planet in our solar system. I'm actually about 318 times the size of Earth. I'm also the fastest spinning planet on the solar system. It takes about 24 hours for a single rotation of Earth, where it only takes 10 hours for me to do a single rotation. I'm also the 4th brightest object in the sky. I'm one of the 5 visible planets in the solar system. I have a total of 79 moons, 4 of which were discovered by Galileo, and my 4 moons are called the Galilean moons. Their names are Ganymede, Io, Europa, and Castillo. Although they aren't as pronounced or as famous as Saturn's rings, I actually have 3 different sets of rings. They're just a little bit fainter and can't be seen very easily. My atmosphere is also very harsh. I have super hard and big storms that are constantly going around my atmosphere. If you see right here, this is my great red big spot. This is actually a storm that's been going on in my atmosphere for over hundreds of years. Since I'm so far from the sun, it takes much longer for me to circulate the sun in a full circle. On Earth, 1 year is 365 days, whereas 1 year on Jupiter is equivalent to 11.8 years on Earth. If you could stand on my surface and you weighed 100 pounds on Earth, you would actually weigh 240 pounds on my surface. The average temperature on my surface is at a cool negative 162 degrees Fahrenheit. And last fact about one of my moons, Ganymede is the largest moon in the solar system, and it's actually larger than Mercury itself.
Hi, I'm Saturn. I'm the 6th planet from the sun, And I was first discovered by Galileo in 1610, but when he was first looking at me, he thought he saw 3 planets and not my rings. My rings are also separated into groups from A to G, and I have 82 moons, and the largest is Triton. Triton can actually be a source of life, but we don't know that yet. So my surface isn't really a solid surface, it's mostly gases and liquids composing of helium and hydrogen and ammonia. However, scientists think that I might have a core made of metal like iron. So some of my rings are being pulled in by my magnetic field, and scientists think that within 100,000 years, my rings will be gone. For a little perspective about time on my surface, 1 year is 29 years on Earth, and 1 day is only 11 hours on Earth. So my size, I can fit myself 1.6 times into the sun, and 746 Earths can fit inside of me. I also am very tilted on an axis like Earth is, so different parts of me get heated differently.
Hi, I'm Uranus. I'm an ice giant. I'm the 7th planet from the sun, and what this means is that I'm so far away that it makes me very cold. I have 27 moons, and a day for me is 17 hours and 14 minutes, but a year for me is equivalent to 84 years on Earth. I have a tilt of 90 degrees, meaning that I spin on my side. I am 4 times wider than Earth. It takes sunlight 2 hours and 40 minutes to reach my surface. 80% of my mass is made out of hot, dense fluid of water, methane, and ammonia. Methane is what gives my surface a green and blue hue. I have very faint rings. I have 3 of them. The thick atmosphere is also made up of hydrogen.
I'm Neptune. I'm dark, cold, and very windy. I'm one of the last planets in our solar system. I'm more than 30 times as far away from the sun as Earth is. I'm very similar to Uranus. I'm made of thick fog of water, ammonia, and methane over an Earth-sized solid center. My atmosphere is made of hydrogen, helium, and methane. The methane gives myself the same blue color as Uranus does. I have 6 rings, but they're very hard to see. I'm encircled by the 6 rings, and like Uranus, I'm an ice giant. It's similar to a gas giant. It's made of a thick soup of water, ammonia, and methane flowing over the solid core. 1 day on my planet goes by in 16 hours. I have such a long journey around the sun, it takes 165 Earth years to go around once. This is a very long year. I have 13 moons, and there's 1 more awaiting discovery. I'm the 8th and most distant planet from the sun. That means that Uranus is my only neighboring planet. I was discovered in 1846, and the only thing to visit me was Voyager 2.
I'm Pluto, and I'm a dwarf planet. I had only been a planet for 75 years after I was discovered in 1930. And after that, I was classified down to a dwarf planet because my mass was still less than the 5 moons around me. My diameter is only 1,471 miles, which is half the width of the United States. And 1 year on me is 248 years on Earth, and 1 day is about 153 hours. And the only thing that has come to visit me was NASA's New Horizons shuttle, and that took 9 years to get from Earth to me.
There are 8 planets in our solar system. We revolve around the sun. Join us to learn about the different planets. Now sing along and have some fun.